need no bread for a little bit, but need a lump sum. Real spill, yeah, I'd rather be a broke, real, little rich. Fall in love with her, she just wanna be a VIP with it. Don't blame me, oh, they just shame me. Had to get it how I got it on my phone to me. Don't blame me, I'm what the game. Change me, I'm the same man. I stay myself, I never change, yeah. Dirty sort of treat me like a stain, yeah. Do whatever, get you paid, yeah. Rolling from the cradle to the grave, yeah. On my hood, on my block, yeah. On my, I won't stop, yeah. Play with me, I'll let it, yeah. Halo on me, Saint Laurent, yeah. Got me with the school, yeah. Keep one, move, yeah. You my little baby boo, yeah. I love you like my favorite color blue, yeah. Real spill, yeah. I'd rather be a broke, real, little rich. Fall in love with her, she just wanna be a VIP with it. Don't blame me, oh, they just shame me. Had to get it how I got it on my phone to me. Don't blame me, I'm what the game made me, not what the fame made me. I won't let it change me, I'm the same man. I stay myself, I never change, yeah. Dirty sort of treat me like a stain, yeah. Do whatever, get you paid, yeah. Rolling from
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Titans going up against the Texans.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. And the tight end, Ebron, in motion. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Now he's forced, and time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
They'll set up to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Now let's go. 3-19. Watching that, Barney.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he has knocked down from the side. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go!
He'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Flush to his right. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back, right at the line of scrimmage. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd. They're going to look to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the 2nd drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. On after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. So certainly not what they were hoping for, especially on the road. Their starter forced to the locker room. And the pressure gets to him again. Charles Haley in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And the tight end Ebron in motion. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
And the tight end Ebron in motion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
No. Check. Patriot. Back that in, Billy. Hurry up. Here we go.
And the tight end Ebron in motion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. And this a 39-yard attempt. And the kick by Elliott is good. An update, meanwhile, from over in Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
And a big tackle there as the defender runs right through him. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Dante Fowler in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. A first throw for the backup Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. His throw caught at about the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they try the right side here. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Now a handoff looking right. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the second quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they take it all the way to the 1-yard line, but in the end, they opt for 3.
I know if this was a video game, they never would have gone for the field goal because, Brandon, who kicks field goals in video games? But you've got to make sure you get points, and that was as easy a 3 as you can get.
You kick field goals in video games. That's who kicks field goals in video games. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point kicker. Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here's Brad Nortman now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Now they try the right side here. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he cut. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 11th touchdown on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from taking the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 17 yards on that play for the Titans. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, and he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll come out in the pistol. They come up in an offset eye. 2nd and goal to go now. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Around the NFL, 2nd quarter in Chicago. And it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got Adams on the hookup. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing that I observed when Dante Fowler was coming out in the NFL draft, how hard he played the game. Every time I turned on a tape, he was either rushing the passer, making a play, or making a play in space against a ball downfield, or hustling from one sideline to the other. How about that play right there? Making a nice tackle, holding it to a short gain.
16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. And to give this time to the tailback. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now a handoff looking right. And a short gain here down to the 22. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. The Texans on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And this one is right down Broadway. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this third quarter. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved a first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Flushed out right. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And the tight end Ebron in motion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Final minute now of the third quarter. They'll look to throw here on first down. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Just 2 yards to go here on second down for the offense.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw here. Flush to his right. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
From Soldier Field, meanwhile, in Chicago, a third-quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll drop the throw. Steps away. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Anthony Barr able to get him for a loss of about 3. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Here we go now. Boom, land it. No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. To throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And the kick by Elliott is good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front. But then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
And now out comes Houston. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
Now it's Wilson. Throw left side is taken in by Stewart. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now Wilson eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And now a first down following that long gain.
Now let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. the shotgun. Wilson. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Wilson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too effective.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now he's forced out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Here's Brad Nortman now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And to give this time to the tailback. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some space here. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Around the NFL, 4th quarter right now in Atlanta. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And the Texans are going to win the football game. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Texans, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they're going to fall to 3-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.